So the battle lines are very clearly drawn. Congress and other opposition parties are accusing the Chief Minister of violating oath to the Constitution and religious discrimination against Muslims. Sarma's supporters back him to the hilt. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has strongly said every illegal will be sent out of India. So is this a clarion call to save indigenous people of Assam, or is this politics of polarization? Joining me on India First is Dr. Pooja Tripathi, national spokesperson of the Congress party. Radhika Khera is the national spokesperson of the BJP. Suhas Chakma joins us as a political analyst. Kaushik Dekha is executive editor, India Today magazine, and Kaushik has written a very thought-provoking article that I will refer to, and we'll come to him in just a moment. But Radhika Khera, the Chief Minister urging citizens to economically harass a particular community, pay them less fare, deny them jobs, don't give them houses on rent, don't give them business opportunities, while also claiming that all this is within the ambit of the law. Madam, where does the BJP draw the line? He's the Chief Minister. Isn't this blatantly unconstitutional, saying do not give jobs to Miyas?
Good evening to everyone. Gaurav, this isn't about Miya or a particular community. It's about illegal infiltration, demographic transformation, and the survival of Assam's indigenous communities. For decades under the Congress rule, Assam has witnessed unchecked illegal immigration, and our Union Home Minister Amit Shah ji has stated on record that the number of illegal infiltrators rose from 0 to nearly 64 lakhs during the Congress regimes, which has fundamentally altered Assam's demographic structure to the extent that in 7 districts, indigenous people have become minorities in their own land. And this is not rhetoric, this is demographic reality. So today, when the Chief Minister of the state, Himanta Biswa Sarma ji, takes a firm stand, firm action, the same Congress ecosystem suddenly discovers words like polarization, targeting minorities. Where was this moral outrage when tribal communities and Assamese speaking people and indigenous groups were pushed to the margins? Let's talk about facts. Under the Bharatiya Janata Party government in Assam, 1.26 lakh acres of encroached land have been reclaimed. Land that was illegally occupied for years. Is reclaiming illegal encroachment now oppression? Is stalling out the infiltrators and saying the infiltrators Bangladeshi Miyas? And like the Chief Minister himself has said, they themselves call themselves Miya and they want to be called Miya. It is not a term that has been coined by the Bharatiya Janata Party or Himanta Biswa Sarma ji
No,
for that
but
matter.
is this being too clever when you say Miya? How do people know that whether you're targeting illegal Bangladeshi infiltrators or Bengali-speaking Indian Muslims? But I want to bring in Dr. Tripathi. Dr. Tripathi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah accuses the Congress of ensuring 65 lakh infiltrators settled in Assam during their tenure, changing the demographic profile of 7 districts where local Assamese people became minority in their own land, madam.
Gaurav, let's remind Himanta Biswa Sarma ji the oath that he took when he took when he took over as a Chief Minister of Assam. मैं बिना किसी भय या पक्षपात के राग या द्वेष की संविधान की शपथ लेता हूँ. And the communal dog whistling that's emboldened, that's encouraged, and that's empowered by the highest, highest level of government, it's unimaginable. And this is what has been reduced to, very, very conveniently, he's saying कि मियाँ तो मैंने नहीं वो किया. And you look at his older tweets, he's actually saying कि मियाँ तो हमें 2014 में भी वोट नहीं करते, मियाँ तो ये नहीं करते, मियाँ को ये करना. This is the Chief Minister of a state speaking. And before Amit Shah ji, speaks about illegal infiltration, what has he done to weed out the illegal infiltrators? He has been the Home Minister of India. And look at the week that passed by in India. Police illegally summoned 4 Kashmiri journalists for reporting on police brutality. In UP, Muslims were arrested for praying in an empty house and in a school which was built for tribal by a Muslim in his own land, by his own money, was brought down in Madhya Pradesh. And Allahabad High Court transferred the Chief Judicial Magistrate Vidhanshu Sudhir after he ordered the criminal proceedings against police who acted against a Muslim protester. We are seeing Kashmiri shawl salesmen being brutally thrashed in Uttarakhand, Haryana, in Delhi. We are seeing people, Muslim being lynched in Jharkhand for legally transporting cattle. We are seeing a pastor being, forced to eat cow dung and chant Jai Shri Ram. And this is what communal dog whistling, when I say the highest level, when you're saying, and this is what the hate speeches report also say. 2025 saw 1,259 hate speeches, And 88%, no surprise at all, 88% coming from Bharatiya Janata Party leaders, a 24% increase from
Okay.
2024, which does not support a very less number.
Okay.
And when he say Miya
So
is not
Radhika Khera wants to
Can I please
respond.
respond?
The initial part, since it's your opening comment, ma'am, I didn't interrupt you. The initial part, we wanted to stay on the subject of Assam for the moment, but be that as it may, Kaushik, Dekha, Radhika Khera, I will come back to you to respond, but let me bring in Kaushik Khera and Mr. Chakma for the initial comments. But Kaushik, Dekha, in India Today, you've written a thought-provoking article this morning, and I very strongly recommend this article to our viewers. As you write, harass Miyas, Himanta Biswa Sarma's unconstitutional appeal is Assam's survival mantra. Explain, Kaushik.
Okay, first let me make it very clear. What he said is constitutionally wrong. We can't justify that. But we have to understand what Miyas are. Means Miyas usually in rest of India, it's a term used for Muslims with a lot of respect. But in Assam, Miya is a derogatory term for illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. Mark this, illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. Assamese Muslims or Indian Muslims are not referred to as Miyas. Now you can ask me, how do you know who illegal immigrant is and who is not an illegal immigrant?
How do you distinguish that, whether he's a Miya and he's an illegal Bangladeshi
Yes.
or a Bengali speaking Indian Muslim?
Exactly. Now let's come to that point. Between 2001 and 2011, Assam added 4.5 million people, because that's the latest census data we have of 2011.
Yes.
Of this, 2.4 million were Muslims and 1.8 million were Hindus. Now you will say it's very simple thing, because but if you break it down, of every 100 people, that means 54 were Muslims and 41 were Hindus. You would say generally the Muslims produce more, which their TFR is high, all that someone will say. But the striking fact is that in Assam, Muslims were at that point of time were only 31% and Hindus were 65%. So a larger population is adding only 1.8 million. Half of the population is adding 2.4 million. If you go to any population expert, they will explain that it's not biologically possible.
It's an influx.
It's an influx. So that's where the problem is. This influx became legalized. It's an external influx, but if you go to Assam, ask anyone of this Bangladeshi origin people, they will show papers. They will say, I came in 1951, I came in 1991, I came in 1971, I came in 1931. So you cannot actually find out the NRC exercise happened, because they all come in and there is a illegal nexus helped by even the state machinery earlier, now even, because with the exchange of a few hundred bucks, let me finish. With the exchange of a few $100, you can actually get citizenship. So it's very difficult. They have on paper become, all the illegal immigrants have become legal. They are now Indian citizen and you can't take that away from them. So the CM, if you ask about the constitutional part of a statement, it's not constitutional, you can't make such statements. But the problem is that when you talk about constitutionality in Assam, you have to understand that Assam is one state where the cutoff mark to detect an illegal immigrant is 1971. Why so? For the rest of India, it's 1951. If you talk about constitutionality, why there was an act called IMDT in Assam, which was also not constitutional. So when something is already not happening constitutionally, or for all these illegal immigrants that Assam is suffering, they have been legalized by a system. That system is within the constitution, which means the constitution failed to provide that relief to Assamese people. So now these kind of solutions are coming up. Of course, that should not come from the chief minister, but it's a pragmatic solution.
You're saying it's a battle for survival.
Yes, it is a battle
Assamese
for
people.
survival, and if you do that economic isolation, if you do not give them jobs, then probably is the only way out, because within the constitution, within the legal framework, there is no solution, and Assamese people cannot just sit idle and wait for them to get extinguished from this world.
So there's a different worldview in Delhi and there's a different worldview if you are suffering in Assam as an Assamese. But, you know, I'll come back to you to respond to that, and just put your thoughts together. How do you distinguish whether it's a Bengali-speaking Muslim from West Bengal or a Bengali-speaking Muslim from East Bengal or Bangladesh today? I'll come to you for that, Kaushik. Suhas Chakma Is this aimed at Indian Muslims or Bangladeshi, illegal Bangladeshi Muslims in Assam, when the Chief Minister says, Miya ko naukri mat do, Miya ko ghar mein mat rakho, deny them opportunities, make them uncomfortable. If they create trouble, then the police will sort them out. How does one make a distinction between an Indian Bengali speaking Muslim from West Bengal and an illegal infiltrator from East Bengal or Bangladesh, sir?
It is absolutely impossible to make a distinction between a Bangladeshi, Muslim or a Muslim who speaks Bengali from West Bengal or anywhere else because of the similarity of the language. It's impossible. I think you have to identify at the end of the day based on the documentation or documents which they have. We have to realize, as Kaushik had mentioned, that Assam has been facing this illegal immigration problem, not only from now, I mean, almost from 1871 onwards.
80, yeah,
So from
absolutely.
1871 onwards, when the first 1881 when the first census was conducted, from that period, if you look at it, it is having a problem. And that's why Assam is also the only state which had the NRC in 1961. No other state had it. Still, it did not resolve the problem. So in one hand, I think we have to realize that illegal immigration or migration in Assam is a serious problem, and Assamese and all other indigenous tribes are facing extinction. So that's
They're
a
facing
reality
extinction,
which
you
you cannot
say?
deny. No,
Assamese,
they will face extinction, and I'll come back to that. And the second part of it is, how do you define it? Because you had NRC. Once somebody had been identified as a citizen under the NRC, you cannot say, they are citizens of other countries. And the second question would come up, the BJP had been in power for the last for the last 10 years. Why have they not identified the people as illegal immigrants? If you go to Assam now, I mean, apart from this debate, when I was talking to some of the Bodos, the key issue for them is, their allegation is that the Bodo identities are being subsumed by migration of Adivasi communities in Bodoland. And we had massive, classes couple of days back. And earlier, point of time, about a month back, month and a half back, actually, Bodoland Secretariat was overrun by these students. So I think in Assam, the illegal immigration, legal migration remains an issue. But at the same point of time, I think when it comes to legalities, it's extremely impossible, not possible, I would say. And that's why NRC in that case, in fact, in the NRC, the more scheduled tribes were found to be illegal because they didn't have the documentation. They didn't even have the forest rights
indigenous people did not
document.
have documentation, and the illegals apparently, if they were
Absolutely, they
illegals,
had it. Yes,
they had
because they
documentation.
didn't
And
have the
Dr.
forest
Tripathi,
rights documentation.
yeah, Dr. Tripathi, this is where the BJP says it was a Congress ecosystem that enabled, all the illegals getting proper documentation. You heard the Union Home Minister. He said that 20 years when the Congress was in power, this is where that big demographic profile, that change came. And the Congress even today is being accused of giving cover fire to illegal Bangladeshi infiltrators by equating Bengali-speaking Indian Muslims with these illegal Bangladeshi Muslims in Assam. Because the question that is being asked, madam, why should Assam shelter and share its meager resources with illegal Bangladeshi infiltrators?
Gaurav, the bogey of illegal Bangladeshi infiltrators was raised by this honorable Assam CM Himanta Biswa Sarma in Jharkhand too. We have change of demography. It was raised in Bihar too, and now it's raised in Assam too. You are running a third term of the government. NRC process took 9 years and 1900 crores, were 55,000 state government officers. But what is the result of NRC? Then when we are saying you go and claim 65 lakh, and we want to know what's the proof of this 65 lakh. And when you go on to claim that 65 lakh people have been illegal immigrants, the question again arises as what you have been doing as an home minister of, why do you need an election around the corner to raise this infiltration bogey? And why do you need an election around the corner to indulge in this communal dog whistling is our question. Because you did it in Jharkhand, you did it in Delhi too, for some extent you did it in Bihar too. The SIR exercise did not bring out any illegal infiltrators. So this whole bogey of there are illegal immigrants. We are saying anybody who is not a part of India, please, take them out. Follow a due process, get an evidence. There are tribunals. Follow a deportation process. Don't do ethnic profiling of Indians saying कि ये मियाँ मुस्लिम है, 5 रुपए की जगह 4 रुपए दो, indulge in economic apathy. That's what we are criticizing, and that's what we should be ashamed of doing. Because we've
Radhika
done
Khera
it.
respond, the chief minister should be ashamed of what he is doing, is what the Congress party says, because this is ethnic profiling of Indian Muslims. How do you distinguish between an Indian Bengali Muslim and a Bangladeshi illegal infiltrator, who's a Muslim? They speak the same language or similar language. Opposition says Indian Bengali Muslims will be in the line of fire. This is just creating a bogey, as was raised in Bihar, as was raised in Jharkhand.
First of all, let me remind the Congress spokesperson who was talking about the oath that the chief minister takes. The oath taken by any chief minister is under Article 164 of the Constitution, which is to uphold the Constitution and faithfully discharge duties in the interest of the people of India. Nowhere does the Indian Constitution require a chief minister to protect illegal infiltrators. In fact, Article 355 places a clear constitutional duty on the Union and the states to protect the nation against external aggression as well as internal disturbances. Uncontrolled illegal infiltration is precisely that, Gaurav. Now, the Chief Minister of Assam has taken an oath to serve India and India's citizens in accordance with the Constitution and the law. That oath does not bind him to protect illegal infiltration, it binds him to stop it. We are not the Congress party which went on record, since she mentioned Jharkhand, which went on record in Jharkhand. Ghulam Ahmad Mir, who is the General Secretary of the Congress party, General Secretary gine chune hote hain ungliyon pe, who is also a big leader of Congress from Jammu Kashmir and in charge of Jharkhand, he went on record during the elections and said कि जो बाहर के लोग हैं, जो बांग्लादेशी हैं, उनको भी हम cylinder 500 रुपए का देंगे. How can you forget that jibe that he had given? Now, when Congress, problem is that Congress wants to weaponize the word discrimination to silence any conversation on infiltration because that is their core vote bank. But enforcing the law, Gaurav, is not communal. Protecting borders is not hate speech. And safeguarding the indigenous community is not bigotry. Now, Assam has already seen its demography altered under the Congress rule. The BJP government is doing what the Congress never had the courage to do.
Okay.
In simple one word, act. Calling this hate is an insult to the Constitution of India. Calling this polarization is an admission to political bankruptcy. India is a sovereign nation.
I will get Dr. Tripathi to respond.
The citizens, not illegal entry.
Okay,
and no
but
amount
before
of
that,
grandstanding can change the truth.
Before that, I want to bring in Kaushik Dekha once again, because Kaushik, you also write that this boycott Miyas is not about morality. I mean, people may say, oh my God, how dare you? But for the people of Assam, it's about survival. Explain this, sir.
It's a fact that there are illegal immigrants in Assam. You can't deny that. Okay, you can't legally prove that. It's like a situation when you are in a courtroom where everybody knows that a crime has been committed, but there is no evidence. So you can't convict the actual criminal. It's that kind of situation. So what do? There is no other process. We have done NRC. The NRC didn't yield any result. So what do you do with so many illegal immigrants? And when your numbers are reducing, if you look at the Assamese population, Assamese speaking people, you will see the numbers are reducing, and the Muslim population growth is far higher than the national Muslim population growth. And there have been data in the past, only that you can't prove that on paper. So when the situation doesn't help you, the whole legal system, whole constitutional system doesn't help you, you will have to find pragmatic solution. One of the pragmatic solutions is this, because why do Bangladeshis come to Assam or India? They are not coming here to take shelter. They come here for economic reasons. They come here for land, resources, jobs. So don't give them jobs, don't give them land, don't engage with them economically. It's easier said than done, because if they are now in too many numbers in Assam, it's because the Assamese people were less industrious. They were not complaining till their lands were tilled by the illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. Their salons were run by them. The taxis are driven by illegal immigrants. But when now they have realized that the situation has become really serious. So this is the only solution. When you do not give someone job, they will find jobs elsewhere. They will move probably elsewhere.
But now they're owners of land, and not only are they owners of land, they're also owners of jobs. They give jobs
Yes.
to a lot of people.
Yes.
So, but isn't this just then poll rhetoric? Suhas Chakma.
Of course, it is poll rhetoric. Yes, Gaurav, you are right, because the BJP has been in power for last 10 years.
10 years.
What have they done?
2016 onwards. Yes, go on, sir.
Yeah, so they also haven't done anything. For them, they would bring in a different kind of illegal immigrants. If someone is Hindu, they have offered the CA. So it's not about BJP or Congress who is right, who is wrong, because both sides have their own religious politics.
No,
The
but
Congress
CA
is
is different.
Congress
CA is
is
about
Congress
religious,
backed Congress backed illegal Muslim immigrants. BJP tries to back illegal Hindu Bangladeshi
but
immigrants.
CA,
So
yes, is different. It's persecuted Hindus,
No,
or
the
Jains, or Buddhists,
persecuted
or
Hindus,
Sikh minorities that are persecuted in India's
of
neighborhood.
course, that's
where
that,
else will they
that's
go
there,
except
that's there. But people of
except
Assam, people of
land of
Assam,
origin of their
Gaurav,
religion.
you have to understand, the people of Assam have rejected that also, because they do not want any Bangladeshi immigrants here, and the persecution happened long back. If you are coming in 2014, what's the reason you are coming now? So, and you can go elsewhere also. Why Assam should suffer specifically for this? So, Assamese people are against. It's a very simple fight which people are giving different kinds of religious views. It's a fight between indigenous people and illegal people.
Okay.
It's a fight between Indian citizens and illegal foreigners. That's
Suhas Chakma,
simple.
is that the case? Gaurav Gogoi has accused the Chief Minister of blatantly lying by also falsely attributing terms like demographic invasion and warning of territorial loss to a Supreme Court judgment, 2005 Sarvanand Sonowal judgment. However, this was a statement that was made by late General S.K. Sinha, then governor, in 1998. So, is this just poll rhetoric by the current government, or are they serious about doing something to sort out the illegal infiltrators? It's not Hindu-Muslim, it is illegal infiltrators versus indigenous people, as their livelihood and their way of life is being impacted, sir.
Well, I think it's a poll rhetoric. I don't think they will go beyond poll rhetoric, because if they had to take action, they would have taken action in the last 10 years. And also, if you have not been able to find out anybody who is an illegal immigrant after the NRC, then how are you going to find it now? Because once you are included in the NRC, then you are citizen of the country, so they are not going to find it. And I think we have to understand the debate of foreigners in Assam. See, I mean, I think in the beginning, in the after the independence, the original, actually, the movement of the anti-foreigner agitation in Assam was not initially only against the people from Bangladesh.
Yes.
It was initially against the Marwaris and all other people who had gone from mainland India. And if you go to borderland, that's what I was saying, that they are still, even today, raising their case against the the immigration of the Adivasis, which they accused to be coming from Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and all other affected areas, including the alleged Naxalite affected areas. So the anti-foreign agitation in Assam has its own narrative, and it has its own local context within Assam.
Yes.
But I would say, I mean, as Kaushik had mentioned, this is an emotive issue in Assam, and this is something which almost you go to every corner in Assam, people will identify, irrespective of whatever Chief Minister had said, that this is the most burning issue.
This
There
is
may
the
or
most
may not be
burning
solution
issue.
to it.
This is the most
issue,
burning issue.
the only issue.
Infiltrators versus indigenous people, and it's not a Hindu-Muslim issue, as some are trying to make this out to be. Radhika Khera, in Assam, the apprehension is that even for the BJP, this is just poll rhetoric. BJP has been in power for 10 years, 2016 onwards. What concrete steps has the BJP taken, if even after NRC, you haven't been able to oust the 64 lakh illegal infiltrators who have changed demographic profile in 7 districts, madam?
Gaurav, taking out infiltrators is not a one-day job, especially when the Congress governments in the past have gone on to make sure that they are citizens of India and ensure that their ID cards are made and they start living over here because, like I said, they're their vote bank. Now, the Congress spokesperson had questioned the 65 lakh figure from me. So let me remind her that Tarun Gogoi, who is the former Chief Minister of Assam, Congress-led Mr. Tarun Gogoi, whose son is now representing Assam Congress, he went on record in Assam Assembly to say that there are over 20 lakh illegal immigrants in Assam. And you have the UPA era Home Ministry affidavit submitted in court which acknowledged large-scale immigration from Bangladesh. Now, if you remember, on 2nd December 2012, there is an India Today story in which it categorically, after admitting this in Assembly, he took a U-turn, Mr. Gogoi, and because the elections were approaching and he got scared कि भैया अब हमारे vote bank का क्या होगा, and your India Today itself did a story that why has Mr. Tarun Gogoi taken a U-turn? And then again on 4th March 2015, he went on to say that in the last few months that there were about 2,500 Bangladeshis that were caught hold by the Tarun Gogoi government. So now the Congress has always played with the people of Assam. When the elections come, they start hugging the infiltrators and they go on, pehle election ke, they will go on to say that there are so many infiltrators. They have always only gone and changed their stand as per when election comes and as per their last, like I said, because voter hai to aakhri wo hota hai. But as far as our government is concerned, whether it is Delhi, whether it is the other states, whether it's SIR, she was talking about Bihar, where she
Okay.
does not know how many crore people in Bihar have been given a notice to prove their identity citizenship because they've been marked out that they are not citizens of India and they have to prove that, which is why an SIR is very important. And the SIR is being opposed by the Congress party. They have opposed the NRC. They have opposed everything that is there to ensure that only people of India get benefits of
So let me bring
the
Dr.
things of
Tripathi.
India.
Let me bring Dr. Tripathi to respond because the BJP, madam, very directly accuses the Congress of Muslim appeasement vote bank politics. In fact, if you see Kaushik Dekha's write-up in India Today
Gaurav, this is
Northeast,
Ghuspatia appeasement, not Muslim appeasement. Muslim Indians are Indians. They are talking about bringing Ghuspatias to eat away all our, to eat away all our resources. Why
okay,
should the Ghuspatias be taking away our resources, which are meant for the people of India?
okay, Dr. Tripathi, give me a moment. Dr. Tripathi, give me a moment because some facts that Kaushik Dekha in his article puts out. 1931, there were British Indian Army officers, British Indian officers or British officers in India who'd mentioned invasion by vast hordes of Bengali immigrants, mostly Muslim from districts of East Pakistan. Then data from 2001 to 2011, Assam added about 45.5 lakh people, of which 24.5 lakh were Muslims, 18.8 lakh were Hindus. So as Kaushik was just explaining, for every 100 added, 54 are Muslims, 41 are Hindus. And this shows it cannot happen on its own. This is an influx of people from outside done with an aim at vote bank politics. Is that acceptable in your view, Dr. Tripathi? I think, ma'am, you're on mute. Can I request you to please? Yes, go on,
So
Dr.
that's
Tripathi.
what we are asking them again and again. When you take an example of Bihar SIR exercise, how many members, how many, give me the number, give me the number of people who were turned Ghuspatia and their names were deleted. That's what we are asking. Why this poll rhetoric again and again and again? You know, if there, you go on to court, कि Miya has a Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court didn't say this. This was, aptly pointed out. Governor S.K. Sinha report, who said vast hordes of people have migrated and without giving any empirical evidence, without giving any data about it. And he said multiple demands were raised to merge with Bangladesh. There have been none demands to merge with Bangladesh. And that's what we are saying. The Supreme Court points out that, there should be tribunal. Supreme Court, it's not communal dog whistling कि तुम 5 रुपए की जगह 4 रुपए दो, तुम उनको काम मत दो. And that's not what Chief Minister is supposed to do. When you say Ghuspatia, you have been in power for 10 years. Give me the numbers of how many people have been taken, how many cases have been taken against foreign tribunals, how many
Radhika
cases
Khera,
have
last
been
30 seconds to respond since a very specific charge has been leveled.
It's
Respond,
very
madam, before I bring in
unfortunate.
Kaushik.
It's It's very unfortunate, Gaurav, that the Congress comes here without doing their research. On record, 3 lakh people in Bihar itself have been given notice by the Election Commission to prove their doubt. Term that, ma'am, I didn't speak over you. I didn't speak over you. I didn't speak over you. Please, zip it. Zip it. Zip it, madam. I didn't speak over you. I didn't speak over you. Gaurav, this is not the way. She's behaving like a she's behaving like a guspetya in between when I'm speaking. Sorry, that's not the way. I'm talking about facts. She has a problem. She's speaking over me because I'm calling her out. I'm sorry, I cannot do this. I'm sorry.
One by one. One by one. Dr. Tripathi.
This is not a fish market.
Dr. Tripathi, one by one.
Give me a proof.
Thank you.
Don't just make passing
This is
opinion
not
like
a fish
that.
market, madam. Have the courage to listen to the numbers. You have not done your research. 3 lakh people in Bihar alone have been called out after the SIR. This is unfair, Gaurav. I have not spoken over anyone. I could have spoken over when she was spewing lies, but I did not.
Okay.
3 lakh people have been identified by the Election Commission during the SIR process who have been labeled as doubtful citizens and have been asked to prove their citizenship, which is why SIR is very important. And when you talk about how many people has the Bharatiya Janata Party government taken out, well, this is the entire reason why SIR is happening. Why are you coming in the way and saying you had tried your level best by saying SIR aapka ye kar dega, wo kar dega? Bihar gave an answer. You have been wiped out in Bihar. 6 seats is what you have got. And the number of maximum
you have been in power. SIR came in 2025. Give us a number.
Okay.
She's been called out with the numbers. This is
This
hectic because
clearly
she's been caught red-handed.
is leading to a lot of rising anger, apprehension, tension, emotions.
You're going to be wiped out in Assam as well.
Assam.
I can guarantee you today, Gaurav, they are not even going to cross a double digit. They will be washed down in Assam by single digit because of this narrative. Again, she's speaking
We'll
over
probably
me.
revisit this. We'll probably revisit this very soon. I want
You
to
really
thank
need to
all my
control yourself.
guests. I want to thank all my guests, and I very strongly recommend read India Today Northeast. There's lots on Assam, the latest that's happening in Assam, and how are people in Assam reacting and responding to this. India Today Northeast, I very strongly recommend that you read this.